Did you know you don't have to cut out carbohydrates to improve your blood sugar? In fact, research suggests that one of the fastest ways to support healthier blood sugar isn't about eliminating entire food groups, it's about adding the right foods. That may sound surprising. After all, millions of people have been told to fear carbohydrates, yet many still struggle to keep their blood sugar under control. That's because healthy blood sugar isn't just about eating less sugar, it's about helping your body handle the sugar you do eat more effectively. In this video, you'll discover 7 science-backed foods that researchers have been studying for their potential to improve insulin sensitivity and support healthy blood sugar. By the end, you'll understand how each one works, why it matters, and how to add it to your meals naturally. Let's start with one that's probably sitting in your kitchen right now.
1. Cinnamon. Most people see cinnamon as nothing more than a baking spice. Researchers see something much more interesting. Studies suggest cinnamon contains natural compounds that may help your cells respond better to insulin. Why does that matter? Because insulin is the hormone that helps move sugar out of your bloodstream and into your cells, where it's used for energy. When your cells stop responding properly, sugar stays in your bloodstream longer than it should, and over time, that can become a serious problem. But here's the interesting part. Cinnamon may also slow the speed at which food leaves your stomach. Think of it like pouring water into a funnel. Pour too fast, it overflows. Pour slowly, everything stays under control. That's similar to what slower digestion can do for your blood sugar after a meal. Several studies have linked regular cinnamon intake with modest improvements in fasting blood sugar and HbA1c. If you use cinnamon often, consider choosing Ceylon cinnamon. It contains much lower levels of coumarin, a natural compound that can be harmful to the liver when consumed in large amounts over time. But researchers made another discovery. It wasn't another spice. It was one of the most misunderstood breakfast foods ever. Eggs. For years, eggs were blamed for everything from high cholesterol to heart disease. Some people even threw away the yolk. Today, the science is much more balanced. Eggs are rich in high-quality protein. That protein helps you stay full longer after a meal. And here's why that matters. Every time hunger pushes you toward cookies, pastries, or sugary drinks, your blood sugar has another chance to spike. A breakfast that keeps you satisfied makes those choices much easier to resist. Eggs also provide choline, a nutrient your liver needs to process fat efficiently, and healthy liver function plays an important role in maintaining healthy blood sugar. No, eggs aren't a miracle food, but they help support several systems your body relies on every single day. Here's where everything changes. The next food doesn't look impressive. Most shoppers walk right past it, yet scientists have been studying it for years. Broccoli sprouts. At first glance, broccoli sprouts look like ordinary greens. Tiny, thin, nothing special. But appearances can be deceiving. These little sprouts are one of the richest natural sources of sulforaphane, a plant compound that's caught researchers' attention. Why? Because your liver doesn't just store nutrients, it also makes glucose between meals. With insulin resistance, that process can become less efficient and your liver may release more glucose than your body actually needs. Researchers believe sulforaphane may influence some of the pathways involved in that process. Early studies have shown promising results, but much more research is still needed before it can be considered a treatment. Here's the surprising part. Broccoli sprouts can contain far more sulforaphane precursors than mature broccoli. Not twice as much. In some cases, many times more. A small handful is enough to add to salads, sandwiches, wraps, or smoothies. And the next food proves one of the biggest nutrition myths of the last 30 years completely wrong. Avocados. For years, avocados were treated like the villain. Too much fat, too many calories, stay away. But researchers eventually realized something important. The problem wasn't fat, it was the type of fat. Avocados are packed with monounsaturated fats and fiber, a combination that helps you stay full long after you've finished eating. Why does that matter? Because one of the biggest challenges for people with high blood sugar isn't lunch, it's everything that happens afterward. The afternoon cravings, the vending machine, the sugary snack that seems impossible to resist. The longer you stay satisfied, the fewer opportunities your blood sugar has to spike again. Research also suggests replacing refined carbohydrates with healthy fats like those found in avocados may help support insulin sensitivity as part of an overall healthy eating pattern. Not bad for a fruit that spent decades on the don't eat list. But researchers didn't stop there. Their next discovery came from a tiny seed that's been used in traditional medicine for thousands of years.
5. Fenugreek seeds. Here's something most people have never heard. One tiny seed can completely change the speed at which your meal is digested. Fenugreek is loaded with soluble fiber. As soon as that fiber mixes with water, it forms a thick gel. Imagine cars approaching a busy intersection. Without traffic lights, everything rushes through at once. With traffic lights, the flow becomes steady and controlled. That's similar to what fenugreek may do for the glucose from your meal. Instead of flooding your bloodstream, it enters more gradually, giving your body more time to respond. Some studies have found that regular fenugreek consumption may improve fasting blood sugar and long-term blood sugar control. If you'd like to try it, many people soak about 1 teaspoon overnight, then drink the water and chew the softened seeds the next morning. Just start slowly, and if you're taking diabetes medication, check with your healthcare provider first, since the combination may increase the risk of low blood sugar. Now, here's the crazy part. The next food doesn't look powerful at all. In fact, it's one of the smallest foods you'll ever eat. 6. Chia seeds. If I handed you a teaspoon of chia seeds, you'd probably wonder how something so small could make any difference. But once they absorb water, everything changes. Chia seeds swell into a thick gel that naturally slows digestion. That means glucose enters your bloodstream more gradually instead of arriving all at once. But that's only half the story. Researchers are becoming increasingly interested in your gut because trillions of bacteria living there help influence far more than digestion. The fiber in chia seeds feeds those beneficial bacteria, and a healthier gut has been linked to better metabolic health, including how the body responds to insulin. One of the easiest ways to enjoy chia seeds is to soak them overnight, then stir them into yogurt, oatmeal, or a smoothie. Simple, affordable, and surprisingly powerful. But we've saved the biggest surprise for last, because the next food breaks one of the biggest rules people with diabetes have been told for years, and it might completely change the way you think about carbohydrates. 7. Chickpeas. If you've been told to avoid carbohydrates, this might surprise you. Not all carbs behave the same way. In fact, some may actually make it easier for your body to manage blood sugar. Chickpeas are one of them. Unlike refined carbohydrates that are digested quickly, chickpeas are packed with fiber and slowly digested starch. Think of it like burning a log instead of a piece of paper. One burns in a flash, the other releases energy slowly over time. That's exactly what happens with chickpeas. Instead of a rapid surge of glucose entering your bloodstream, the release is slower and steadier. That means smaller blood sugar spikes and longer-lasting energy. But here's what most people never hear. The fiber in chickpeas doesn't just help slow digestion, it also feeds the beneficial bacteria living in your gut. As those bacteria break down the fiber, they produce compounds that researchers believe may help reduce inflammation and support better insulin sensitivity. So whether you toss chickpeas into a salad, add them to soup, or blend them into hummus, you're doing more than eating a healthy carbohydrate. You're supporting multiple systems that help your body regulate blood sugar. And that's a very different way of thinking about food.
Final thoughts. Notice something? None of these foods work the same way, and that's exactly the point. Healthy blood sugar isn't about finding one miracle ingredient, it's about giving your body multiple ways to work better. Some foods help you stay full, others slow digestion, some support your liver, others nourish your gut. Small improvements working together can make a much bigger difference than relying on any single food. And remember, no food can prevent, treat, or reverse diabetes on its own. The biggest improvements come from combining healthy eating with regular exercise, quality sleep, stress management, maintaining a healthy weight, and following the advice of your healthcare provider. So don't try to change everything today. Start with just one food from this list. Stick with it, then build from there. Because the habits you repeat every day are the ones that shape your health. If you found this video helpful, leave a like and share it with someone who's trying to take control of their blood sugar. And if you enjoy simple, science-backed health videos that separate facts from myths, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.